In this video, we'll take a look at the polysequence submode. This mode allows you to sequence multiple notes at the same time. The bottom 7 rows in the matrix will each sequence one note. In this mode uses scale quantization so that the notes you sequence can be locked into a particular scale. You can select your scale settings by holding down the select button, and just like we saw in note mode, the upper 3 rows will select the scale type. This button here will toggle between in-key and chromatic, and the bottom 2 rows select the root note. When the shift button is pressed, the first button on each row will audition the note that's assigned to that row. I'll turn some steps on here so you can see how this works. As you can see, the rows use alternating colors so that you can differentiate between them. When mute is pressed, the buttons can mute or unmute steps. The upper row of buttons works just like the right lower quadrant in the drum submode, so it can select the loop and edit position. And this of course supports multiple button presses to allow multiple pages to be selected. And when delete is pressed, this row can be used for deleting entire pages. By default, the side buttons select the resolution to use for sequencing. When shift is pressed, this button can be used for doubling the contents of the clip. The lower 4 buttons select the velocity to use when inputting steps. When delete is pressed, these buttons can be used for deleting entire note lanes. And when mute is pressed, these buttons can be used for muting entire note lanes. The first 2 navigation buttons navigate between scenes. The second 2 navigate between octaves. When shift is pressed, they'll move the matrix up or down by 1 semitone. And when select is pressed, they'll navigate between tracks. I'll give you an example of how all this functionality works by sequencing a couple parts.